One of the questions that I'm commonly asked is what's the difference between coaching, consulting, mentoring, therapy, and counseling? So let me just quickly answer that today, but I'm going to answer it in a very different way. So let's just look at this. Let's just look at this image here. So we can see in this image there's two people. So one of these people is the coach, and one of these people is the client. Any idea which one is the coach, which one is the client? So one person sitting here, they're looking at this thing on the table, and this thing on the table represents a problem or a dilemma. It represents a challenge or a goal or a dream, right? And that's the focus of this person. And the other person, we can see the person over here, what are they focused on? They're not focused on the box or the problem. They're focused on the other person. And that's the difference between coaching and consulting. In consulting, actually, and you probably figured it out by now, but this one is the client. So this is the client right here. And this person here is the coach. So the coach is looking at the person, but the person is looking at the dilemma or the situation or the challenge. So this is the thing that they'd like to resolve. This is the thing they'd like to get fixed. This is the thing they'd like to achieve. This is something they'd like to become. This is what they're really interested in. Whereas the other person, the coach, is only interested in the person, not the problem. So that's coaching. Now, consulting is completely different, because in consulting, the consultant is not so much interested in the person. A consultant is actually more interested in the problem. And the more information you can give the consultant about the problem, the easier it is for the consultant to actually solve the problem. In fact, why? Because the consultant is responsible for solving the problem. He's going to give the solutions, he's going to give the advice, or she's going to tell you what to do in order to solve and resolve this issue. That's called consulting. Coaching is very, very different. Coaching is about working with the person to help the person to find their inner capabilities, their inner potential, so that when they approach this problem, it's either no longer a problem because they see it from a very different perspective, or the coach is going to help them to tap into the resources that they need in order to actually resolve this situation or achieve this goal or whatever it is. So there's a huge difference between coaching and consulting. As a coach, when I'm coaching my clients, I don't need to be an expert on this thing that they need help with. I don't need to be an expert at those things. If you're a consultant, you definitely need to be an expert. If you're a trainer or you're a guide or you're a mentor, you definitely need to have experience in all of these things, because you're going to be the one that's going to be solving it. But when you're a coach, you don't need to be an expert in all of these things, because you're not the one that's solving the problem. What you need to be an expert in as a coach is helping the client to tap into their own resources, to unleash their potential, to become the best version of themselves. That's what coaching is all about. And sometimes people think that coaching is a very soft skill. You just ask some questions and they do all the work. No. Coaching requires high level of expertise. Coaching requires a higher level of ability and capability to know exactly what to say, what kind of questions to ask, what to look for in the client to empower the client to become the best version of themselves. That is a very, very unique and fine art to be able to actually do that. To be able to empower, or to be able to help the client to tune into resources that they didn't even know were there before. To help the client to see things in a different way. To help the client to go inside of themselves to find out what's truly important to them and what would be their best next step that they need to take, that's going to be aligned with their purpose and their mission and their agenda. So that is one of the main differences between coaching and consulting. And I just wanted to share that with you. Obviously, now in our training at Academy for Coaches, we go deep into this. We talk about how do we actually bring out the best in the other person. One of the things we teach in Academy for Coaches is what we call the 6 levels. In fact, I'll just go to that. The 6 levels of existence. So when we're working with the client, what do we actually mean by their potential? Everyone has, we call them the 6 levels of existence. So the first level of existence is called our identity. Our identity is who we believe we are. You know, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm young, I'm old, I'm black, I'm white, I'm Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jew, etc., etc. This is who we believe we are, right? This is my beliefs about myself, who I am. This is you could say that this is the very, very foundation of all of our behavior. Everything that we do in life flows from the belief about our identity. So, for example, if I believe that I am a chef, and I truly believe it in my heart of hearts, what will I do? Well, if I believe I'm a chef, I'm probably going to cook. If I believe I'm a retired chef, what does that mean? It means, well, I used to do it, but I probably don't do it so much now, or maybe I just do it now and then. So this is called your identity. The next level is your beliefs and stories. Beliefs and stories are the beliefs that you have about the world around you, the things that are going on in life. And then you've got values. Values means those things that are important to you. And also there's a hierarchy of values as well, like what comes first, what comes second, what comes third. Then you've got things called capabilities. Capabilities are what you're good at. Then we've got behavior, and then we've got environments. So these are called the 6 levels of existence. Now, as a coach, you become expert in helping the client to really work in this area so that they can actually achieve their potential. Now, let me ask you a question. When you're able to help a client to step into the best version of themselves, what happens to this? Then that becomes sometimes irrelevant. In many coaching sessions when I've been coaching a client, when I've been coaching a client, the client comes into the session seeing this as a huge barrier and obstacle. But because through the coaching session they get deeper self-awareness and they're able to understand sometimes their beliefs and stories or their identity around this thing, sometimes that just in one session, sometimes in just a few minutes, that thing that used to be so big and important to them becomes, oh, it was just in my mind. Actually, there's no problem at all. And that's happened so many times in coaching sessions. Anyway, I don't want to go too deep into the depth of this because it really can go deep. But today I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what's the difference between coaching and consulting. And the main difference is, as a coach, we are interested in the person. As a consultant, you're interested in not the person, but the problem that the person has. So that's the main difference. So I just wanted to share that with you. By the way, if you're interested in becoming a coach and you want to learn advanced coaching, you want to learn how to become a master coach, you want to know how to help a client to actually step into the best version of themselves, and somehow within your heart, you're feeling a calling, and you'd love to take up this path. I also invite you to, we have a masterclass that runs every week, a live masterclass. You can come there. It's like an orientation. You can ask questions about coaching. I'm there hosting it. We also talk about what does it actually take to become a professional coach and a successful coach. And if you're interested in that, somewhere under this video or in the description or maybe in the comments, you'll see that there's a little link there. You can go there, and if that's for you, come and join us. If not, no problem. Until next time, I'll see you soon.